All right, we got a fish on. Hey guys, welcome to A19 Fishing Tactics. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of these installations that you can use for either a tip up, tip down. I'm going to be using it for a jaw jacker because its holds tend to freeze up pretty quick in the -20. So stay tuned, I'll tell you what you need. Right, so first and foremost, you're going to need an X-Acto knife, you're going to need a glue gun, you're going to need some sort of marker to be doing some markings. You don't necessarily need a drill or ball bearings, but I'm going to put an added touch to this and you'll see why. And that's pretty much it. So let's get started here. All right, so first off, you're gonna want to get one of those foam mats such as here. This is what I made it out of. These foam mats here. Oh yeah, you're gonna need a ruler as well. Okay, come back over here. And then once you cut everything, I'm not gonna go through the cut process because it takes too long. This is a 14 by 14 square. And the reason why I'm doing 14 by 14 is because it'll cover an 8-inch hole or a 10-inch hole with a little bit to spare. Then you're gonna need 6 1.5 inch by 14, no sorry, 4 1.5 inch by 14, and then 4 1 inch by 1 inch by 11.5. And I'll show you why in just a moment here. All right, so first of all, you're gonna grab your 1.5 inch by 14 inches, and you're gonna glue those cross corners like that and that. That's gonna be the first step. So I'm gonna show you here what I'm gonna do. Do a line here, and you're gonna wanna make sure that glue gun is hot because you wanna be able to play with it once it's on. So first one here, make sure it's lined up. Second one on this side. This is the 14 inches by 1.5 inch. And I mean, you can play with the sizes, but it's just to keep it the same as the square. All right, so we're gonna wait for that to dry. All right, so next up, you're gonna grab 4 ball bearings. And the reason why I use ball bearings is to put a little bit of weight to this because you don't wanna just blow it in the wind. So once the first part is glued, so each corner, you're gonna try to get a drill the same size as the ball bearing or similar where you can squeeze it in, and just drill through that first layer on all 4 corners. Really simple. All right, so that's all we're gonna need to drill for, so we're gonna set that aside. And now we're just gonna put in each hole, we're gonna put a little squirt of glue in each hole. And these are ball bearings that I got from car bearings because I was a full-time mechanic. But I mean, you can get these at a lot of different places for slingshots. So you're gonna press it in. See how they go in? If you want to take a little close up here, you press it in and then the glue is gonna keep it in place. So like I said, this is just to keep some weight on this foam so it doesn't blow away in the wind. And that's pretty much it for that step. All right, so next up what we're gonna do is we are gonna glue another layer of these to give it a little bit of height. And then you're gonna grab, once again, your 14 by 1.5 inch pieces. You're gonna wanna line them up. Very important to line them up because everything's cut to fit. So when you line it up, you'll see how easy it'll work. And you may have some glue gooping out, but that's fine. All right, now that those are all lined up and you got good pressure on there, you're gonna just let that sit until it's done, until it cools down and it sticks well. All right, now we're gonna stick the 11.5 inch by 1.5 on the back. So we're gonna glue here in between both of them. And we already got our marbles, or our not our marbles, but our bearings in all 4 corners, so we don't need to put any more bearings. I mean, you could put more bearings along if you really want more weight, but I don't think it's that necessary. I've seen people do it without that. And I'm trying to Make sure I got the side with the better facing, just so it looks cleaner on the outside and the rough edges are more on the inside, just for aesthetics, but in all reality, it's not gonna make a difference. And just as an added touch, you can put a little bit of glue in between. Oh, I actually did that late. I should have done it before I put them on, but that's fine. All right, and we're gonna let that side dry and move on to the next. All right, so for this side, this is where we're gonna put the slit. So I'm actually made these a little thinner. Instead of being 1.5 thickness, it's 11.5 by 1 inch. So we're gonna glue those on this side, and remember to keep the nicer look on the outside, and then here I'm gonna put a little bit on the wall as I intended to do on the other side, just to keep the air out. So we're gonna put the first one on here. And then that's pretty much it for the gluing part. If you want an added touch, you can put a little bit of glue on the insides here and the corners. Actually, that's a good idea because it'll keep the wind out in case there's any leaks or anything, and that'll just better the, it'll just be a better seal. All right, so that's it for gluing. Next up, we need to make our hole and the line. All right, so I lied. We do need to drill one more time. So we're just gonna have to drill a hole right in the center. So I did a measurement 7 inches by 7 inches, and we're gonna drill right through the middle. So we're gonna drill through one side and then through the other one, just to get a clean hole. There we go. All right, so now we're just gonna cut a straight line through, and this is where we're gonna be able to be feeding the line in and out of whatever device. So just run your guide tool on a ruler just to make a straight line. Once you got a guided line, you can continue with just the knife. And there we are. That's as easy as that. You're elevated, you're insulated, you got your slot where you put your line. So like I said, you can put your the tip of the sit in the water in to have the little flag. You can use the tip downs, and I'm going to be using it as a jaw jacker, so you'll see in my later videos how I'm going to set that up. But that's pretty much it. I'd like to say thank you to my beautiful wife for recording this video. And yeah, stay tuned for future videos. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Ciao. All right, we are on the field now. I got my hole done here. I'm gonna run you through how I'm gonna set up the jaw jackers with my new hole cover system. It's not that cold today, so don't really need to use them, but right now we're -4. But anything I'd say over -10, I would probably put them on, and then that way you can just sit in your shack and listen for the bell, because I'll be putting a bell system on these. So we're gonna clean the hole as well as we possibly can. I got my 2 minnows. Let's start with the jaw jacker here. This would be actually my first time fishing with a jaw jacker. I've always wanted to get them, but never wanted to pay the price. But recently they went on sale, 33% off or something like that. So I bit the bullet and got some. Still unsure whether I like them or not, but I've heard good things about them. So they're definitely better for when it's not colder, but this is why I made this little device here. So, without further ado, let's get this all set up. Probably speed the camera up when I'm not talking. Right. So, what I like to do, not everyone does this, but I like to know where my bait's sitting. So let's turn up the brightness here. Let's see how many feet. I'm thinking we're about 6-7 feet here. We'll know in just a moment. Precisely 6.2 feet. All right, so if you look here, I got on my rod, I like setting them up like my tippers. Like I tip down, so I got 2 inline hooks about 6, 7, 8 inches apart with a swivel with a little weight just to get them down there. And why I like putting my minnows on here. I'll explain once I get them on there. So I will put the hooks through the cheeks. We are at the Marina Alma right now. It looks like we have fish and ice. It's the first time I ventured past the inside of the marina. But anyway. So we got 2 minnows in tandem, or in line like that. So we're gonna get the jaw jacker out of the way to start. And so the weights here, because these minnows will probably kind of free float, which is kind of nice because a fish, when he nips at it, especially a walleye, he won't get spooked by it if there's tension, and it leaves a minimal tension that way. So I'm gonna look here. So my weight should go down before. Oh, let's see. There's a little bit of current here. So with the current, I won't really be able to show you how the sonar works because it's not coming up on the sonar. I didn't think there was that much current at this spot, but I guess it's been a while since I fished here. Yeah, it's not showing up because of the current, and that's kind of nice actually, because then my minnows will actually be free floating more because of the current. So I want to put my nose on there. All right. Hope that doesn't happen again. All right, now that's set there. Loosen up the drag a little bit. I'm gonna bring that up a bit. Looks like my chair fell over. Anyway, so that's how they're gonna set those up. So what I'm doing here, so see the weights on top. I don't know if you guys see this well, but weights on top. And we got minnow. Oh, we got something looking at it. This guy in the rod holder. Get the tip down. Get the loop in this little guy right here, and then this is the trigger. Sits on the bait. All right, we got a fish on.
Yes, I hope it's a walleye.
Me too.
It's
A pike. All right. Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. One goes off and then the other. All right, there we go. That is how it works. You're here at perfect time, my friend. And you're on video. Say hello.
Hello.
It works, so that's awesome. Woo! Let's get this one back in here. Little baby pike. All right, so on my way back to the car right now, I just tested out the jaw jackers for first real time with the hole covers. It's pretty windy out here. Holes are freezing over, and I kept the holes pretty insulated. Did not freeze at all. I managed to catch a pike. Pretty happy about that. Got it on video, and I had a friendly bystander come by and say hello and witness it all, which is kind of cool. But anyways, yeah, I'd say give it a thumbs up. I would definitely recommend making these. It's a game changer for those colder days. I imagine they would work pretty well in the minus 30 temps, minus 20, minus 30. So you don't have to clean the hole often. Your jaw jackers are always ready to go and not frozen up. Because as you know, if you have jaw jackers, they're easily set up if you're dinking around with the holes and cleaning them and stuff. So yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys liked the video. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers.